Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we will learn about the biological warfare or bioterrorism. In this module, we will learn about what is bioterrorism, what is the history of bioterrorism, what is current status, what are the characteristics of bioweapons, types of bioweapons, delivery methods and mode of transmission of biological weapons, target points for bioterrorisms, terrors linked to bioterrorisms, indicators of bioterrorism, impacts of bioterrorism on environment, and we will also discuss some case studies and measures to prevent bioterrorism. A short review is also given about the Indian scenario along with the concluding remarks. So, introducing about the biological terrorism or biological warfare. Biological warfare or germ warfare is the misuse of toxin produced or disease causing microorganisms with the aim to harm or kill the humans, animals or plants at large scale as an act of war. The microorganisms used for the process are the pathogenic viruses, bacteria, rickettsia and fungi. There are three terms in use. One is biological warfare, another bioterrorism and one more biocrime. These terms are almost similar and can be used interchangeably depending on the target of the depending on the basis of target. That is, if used to kill specific or small number of people, that the term used is biocrime. But if the target population is large, the term used is bioterrorism or biological warfare depending on the motive of the use. The use of biological weapons is not a new concept and it started before 6th century. It involves the determined creation of epidemics by enemy action. The microorganisms used in biological warfare are disseminated in mainly two ways. First one is the formation of clouds over the target population, and second is contamination of supplies such as water, food and air of target population. Impact of biological warfare mainly depends on the type of microorganism, amount and dispersal method. Main reasons for the attraction of biological warfare products are their easy transportability, effective in small amounts, cost effective than as compared to chemical agents, etc. Now, defining the biological warfare or germfare. Biological warfare or germfare is defined as the deliberate use of microbes such as viruses, bacteria, rickettsia and fungi or their toxins with intention to kill or harm the humans, animals and or plants of target area. The microbial agents used in biological warfare are called as biological weapons or weapons of mass destruction. These are also known as bioagents, bioweapon and biotoxins. Most of these bioagents quickly replicate and reproduce rapidly in host. These are very hard to treat and control as compared to normal viruses, bacteria and fungi. Now, discussing about the history of bioterrorism or biological warfare. We start our discussion with the pre-BC era. In pre-BC era, biological warfare is not a new term. The biological agents for the purpose were used since primitive times. As per anonymous reports, dates as far back as 400 BC. Scythian archers used arrows infected on the tip with blood of decomposing bodies. As per 300 BC Roman, Greek and Persian literature, dead animals were used by them to contaminate wells and other water sources of enemy. In 190 BC, Hannibal used earthen vessels full of venomous snakes against King Eumenes II of Pergamon during the Battle of Eurymedon. Apart from these, there are many more uncomfortable reports of use of snake venoms, arsenic smoke, poisonous plants, fungus, etc. as weapons during war during BC period. History of bioterrorism or biological warfare post AD era. In late 6th and early 7th century, the Assyrians used rye ergot, a fungus, to poison water wells of their enemies. In the 12th century AD, Barbarossa also used the bodies of dead and decomposing soldiers to poison wells of enemies during the Battle of Tortona. In 14th century AD, the forces of Tatar thrown plague-infected human dead bodies to cause an epidemic within enemy forces. Similarly, in 1710, the Russians catapulted the bodies of people died from plague in surroundings of Swedish forces at Reval in Estonia. In 18th century, during French and Indian War, British forces gave blankets used by smallpox victims to the Native Americans to spread smallpox disease. The danger of these weapons of mass destruction has increased many folds since 19th century due to advancement of technology and separation of microbes. The understanding about the behavior, use, harms, storage, pathogenicity, etc. of microbes has also increased tremendously. Formal research in this direction started in the 20th century. Then further discussing history of bioterrorism or biological warfare status post World War I. Post World War I, Japanese were very ambitious to produce biological weapons, and research started in this direction in 1928 when Lieutenant General Ishii went to many European and American countries to find out the information and techniques regarding the bioweapons. Upon returning to the country, he started work for the massive production of bioweapons, and his research center was recognized as Unit 731 located at Manchuria. Bioweapons including Yersinia pestis, Vibrio cholera, Neisseria Neisseria meningitidis and Bacillus anthracis were tested on the prisoners of war and several were dead. About 1700 Japanese soldiers died due to poor control of infection spreading. During 1972 anthrax bomb were tested by British Army on islands of Grenada and Scotland coast. Further continuing the history of biological war or bioterrorism post World War II. After the end of World War II, US was behind many countries regarding the research on bioweapons and started work with the Unit 731 of Japanese. The US Navy conducted an experiment to determine the negative impacts of bioweapons at local people in San Francisco Bay during 1950. They used Serratia marcescens bacterium because it is less pathogenic and cause only skin and respiratory infections. Experiment was tested in Georgia and Florida between the 1956 and 1958 through the release of swarms of mosquitoes. Those act as yellow fever carriers. This experiment was kept as top secret, but some reports disclosed that some persons died due to yellow fever. A large-scale experiment was conducted during 1966 by dissemination of Bacillus subtilis in New York subway in 1966. This pathogen caused the infection among the 1 million people. Main purpose of this experiment was to check the dissemination of pathogen from point source to spread over the large area. Now coming on to the current status of bioterrorism. No confirmed reports regarding the biological weapons are available, as these are kept highly confidential by the different countries. As per Arms Control Association USA report 2000, September 2017, nearly 17 countries, that is Canada, China, Cuba, France, Germany, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Japan, Libya, North Korea, Russia, South Africa, Syria, Taiwan, the United Kingdom and the United States are believed to currently possess biological weapons. Some states have officially declared destruction of their biological weapons, while some has not declared, and counter allegations are made by these countries in this regard. As far as India is concerned, India in 1997 declared that it possessed 1044 metric tons of mustard agents, and the same has been destroyed by the year 2009. What are the characteristics of bioweapons? Effective in very small amount and easy to handle. Another characteristic is easy to transport across the borders, develop more virulent strain by exploiting the genetic engineering. These are cost effective, and any underdeveloped country can also develop them easily. Affect more persons than chemical weapons and long lasting terror. Easy to acquire, cultivate and disseminate. These are generally self-reproducing and difficult to detect. Now discussing the types of bioweapons. Bioweapons, because of their cheapness, are also known as poor man's atom bomb on the basis of their ability to cause mortality. They are classified into three categories: category A, category B and category C. So, category A includes the organisms which are high priority agents as they can be easily transmitted from person to person and cause high mortality. The examples are smallpox, anthrax, and plague. Category B, these are second highest priority agents as these are moderately easy to disseminate and cause moderate morbidity and low mortality. The examples are Q fever, brucellosis, and cephalomide. Examples are Q fever, brucellosis, and cephalomyelitis. Then bioweapons of category 3. These are third highest priority agents. These can be easily disseminated because of the availability, ease of production, and potential for high morbidity and mortality. For example, antiviruses, yellow fever, etc. Now, the most important is the delivery methods and mode of transmission of biological weapons. Delivery or dissemination methods play significant role for the mass destruction potential of the weapons because mass destruction of biological weapons depends on the delivery method. There are two traditional methods for delivery or dissemination of bioweapons. Number one is spray devices. Release of bioweapons through the spray devices require biological agent to be aerosolized. These can be transported through any transport carrier and can be sprayed. Then are the explosive devices. These contains cluster of bombs. The efficiency of explosive device is comparatively less to spray device, and there is disadvantage of this method as the heat generated during the explosion inactivates the microbes. Continuing with the delivery methods and mode of transmission of biological weapons, further the spread of biological agents after delivery occurs by various means like inhalation, via aerosolization, ingestion, inoculation, vector dissemination, etc. Inhalation is via etc. Now, aerosolization method. In this method, biological agent is converted to a fine air particle. Aerosolized particles reach the human body through three sources. One are point sources. In this method, pathogen dissemination source is stable or permanent on fixed position. Japanese experimented different type of biological agent through point source method during World War II. Examples are artillery, shells, bombs, etc. and suitcase. Then are the multi-point sources. Pathogens are disseminated from stationary sources with several release points. Then third one are the line sources. This method involves the prolonged release of biological agent from a mobile body. First of all, this method was applied in Japan during 1937. In these methods, cruise missiles, aircraft carrying spray attachments, and fixed wing or rotocraft with attached sprayers for delivery of pathogen. Further continuing, another method of delivery of biological weapons is ingestion method. In this, water, food, and medical materials are contaminated with biological weapons to cause the disease in the people. Best example for ingestion attack is contamination of water supply, of city to destroy on large scale. There are ample of examples in history, and one of them is Assyrians contaminated enemy water wells with rye ergot. Then is precutaneous inoculation method. In this method, biological material is transferred to human body through the dermal exposure. Precutaneous inoculation is limited and less effective because large areas of damaged skin are rare. This type of accident happened in US during 2001 through the anthrax spores by a postal mail post. Then vector method. Other organisms are used to carry the pathogen to host in this method. The other organisms are like flies, mosquitoes and mice act as carrier agent for the plague, yellow fever, hantavirus, etc. Japanese used this method during World War II on China by spreading contaminated rice and wheat. Then methods for delivery of biotoxins. Besides above, there are the methods for release of biotoxins in environment. Gas and aerosol release through aeroplanes, bombs, missiles and submarines. HCN and central burster missiles are used for the purpose. Poisoned bullets, grenades, arrows and letters are other examples. Contamination of delivery foods such as coffee, water, creams, juice and more eatables are other examples. Poisoning the water bodies by addition of microorganisms in specific area. Contaminated blankets in war given by the soldiers to foe soldiers. Then target points for bioterrorism. Bioterrorists always attack only area with thick population like big metropolitan cities, military campuses, big urban conglomeration, refuse camps, areas along international bodies. Now, terrors linked to bioterrorism create fear and subsequent disruption in society. These not only hurt physically, but also infect the psyche of helpless and innocent humans. Generally, it leads to high mortality or low mortality with moderate high morbidity. Although terrorists ultimately seek to create terror in humans, but their activities may produce death or disease in plants and animals as well. In future, may be most vicious threat to civilized society. Environmental contamination could pose continuing threat. Discussing the indicators of bioterrorism. A disease entity that is unusual or does not occur naturally in a given geographic area, or combinations of unusual disease entities in the same patient populations. Large number of both military and civilian casualties in particular areas. Data suggesting a massive point source outbreak. Apparent aerosol route of infection. High morbidity and mortality relative to the number of people at risk. Illness limited to fairly localized or circumscribed geographical areas. Sentinel death animals of multiple species. Impact of bioterrorism on environment. The main motive of bioterrorists is to harm or kill the human beings, but it also badly affects the environment. It degrades the water quality by contaminating it, pollute air, hence deteriorate its quality, deteriorate the soil quality. It causes various diseases among flora and fauna, decrease the biodiversity by killing various animals, plants and other organisms. Imbalance in the self-sustaining ecosystem is created by these. Now further we are discussing some case studies. The first one is test by Japanese military in Pingfan, Manchuria. During the time period of 1932 to 1945, Japanese military conducted the experiments on war prisoners by using multiple biological agents. In this testing of biological agents on the prisoners, thousands were killed and 2,000 injured. Then another example is from China attack. This attack occurred in 11 cities of China during the time period of 1940 to 42. Cholera biological agent was applied for this purpose by the Japanese military. In this attack, 2,400 persons were killed and about 10,000 injured. Then another case study is of USSR accident. In this, in suburbs of southeast of Sverdlovsk on April 1979, anthrax released during the production of bioweapons accidentally occurred. In this accident, 68 persons were dead and nearly 300 were injured. Then example from US anthrax attack. This attack is also known as Amerithrax. It occurred within the US on 18 September 2001 after 1 week of 11th September attack through the letters containing the anthrax spores at different places like Washington DC, New York City and other cities of the USA. These letters were mailed to some news channels and to Democratic US senators. In this attack, 22 people were infected and out of them 5 were killed. Anthrax spores were transferred into 11 persons through inhalation and in rest 11 through cutaneous. Another case study of Afghanistan attack. Islamist terrorists attacked on the police and civilians of Afghanistan in 2010 using the rat poison. In this attack, 53 persons were killed and about 40 injured. Then, discuss about measures to prevent bioterrorism. Various effective measures are taken to prohibit the development, production and stockpiling of biological weapons and their transmission. These are discussed in brief as follows. Hague Convention in 1907. Uses of biological and chemical weapons are condemned in this. Then Geneva Protocol 1925. It banned the use of poisonous or other gases usually referred to as chemical weapons as well as use of bacteriological methods of warfare. Then framework of League of Nations in 1930. Attempts were made to achieve a complete ban but not successful. Then Biological Weapon Convention 1972. This convention incorporates the Geneva Protocol 1925. It convened to prohibit the development, production, and stockpiling of bacteriological and toxin weapons. This was opened for signatures in April 10, 1972 and entered into force on March 26, 1975. Signed at Washington, London, and Moscow by 103 countries, and till date, 159 countries have signed the convention. 141 countries have ratified it. After the anthrax mail attacks on USA in 2001, the fifth review conference was held during November 2002. During these conferences, the discussions were held to promote the common understanding and effective actions on issues related to biological warfare, and annual report were submitted to the UN as an additional confidence building measure. The Bioterrorism Act 2002 US. The event of September 11, 2001 have forced the federal government of US to pass Public Health Security and Bioterrorism Preparedness and Response Act. The first Interpol Global Conference on Preventing Bioterrorism was held in Lyon on March 2005. More than 450 delegates from over 150 countries participated in the conference. Then International Health Regulations 2005. World Health Assembly adopted the International Health Guidelines on 23 May 2005 and came in force on 15 June 2007. Main purpose of these guidelines was to protect, control, and provide a public health response at international level to prohibit the unwanted interference with international traffic and trade. Then discussing the Indian scenario. According to Constitution of India, health is a state subject and it is the primary responsibility of state government to deal with biological disaster. India has a good quality defensive biological warfare capabilities because it has both extensive and advanced dual use pharmaceutical industry. India has already ratified Biological and Toxin Weapons Convention 1975 and pledged to abide by its obligations. Indian President APJ Abdul Kalam asserted that India will not make biological weapons. It is cruel to human beings. In India, there are also some research labs to grip biological attacks, and first lab defense research and development establishment was established by Defense Research and Development Organization, that is DRDO, located at Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh. Main aim of this lab is studies of toxicology, biochemical pharmacology, and development of antibodies against the biological agents like anthrax, brucellosis, cholera, plague, smallpox, botulism, viral hemorrhage, fever, and many more. Indian government has some significant efforts to prepare its military force against biological and attack and begun to prepare to medical personnel to deal with this kind of problems. Indian government increased their interest in this field after receiving doubtful letters believed to be containing Bacillus anthracis spores in 2001, but none of them was not positive result. It was just a white powder. India's Central Industrial Force, that is CSIF, has been established to defend from biological attacks and organized two specially skilled first responders to scene of biological attack. On 3rd June 2015, India and US have signed a new 10-year defense framework agreement that includes the work cooperatively to develop defense capabilities and lightweight protective suits effective in biological hazard management. The following institutions are dealing at various levels for the purpose. Then National Disaster Management Authority, that means NDMA. The authority comes under the Disaster Management Act 2005 and seeks to institutionalize mechanism at district, state and national level for planning, preparing and ensuring rapid response to both natural as well as man-made disasters. National Crisis Management Committee. This committee is consisting of 14 union secretaries including the chairman and provides effective coordination and implementation of response in case of disasters. Then National Disaster Response Force. This agency has been constituted under the Disaster Management Act 2005 for the purpose of the specialized response to disaster situation. Presently, NDRF has 8 battalions and positioned at 8 different locations, and this force is already trained and equipped to handle the situation. Then Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. This is a nodal agency for handling of epidemics and is advised by the Technical Advisory Committee under Director General of Health Services DGHS. National Institute of Communicable Diseases is also nodal agency for investigating outbreaks and also provides teaching and research support. Most of the states have regional and family welfare centers. MOHFW is responsible for new health sector guidelines and various schemes. Then Ministry of Home Affairs. This ministry is a nodal ministry and responsible for assessing the threats and set of different mechanisms to face them and provide intelligence inputs. Technical support is provided by MOHFW. Then Ministry of Defense. This ministry has a hospital network to support clinical case management. In serious conditions, they have also evacuate facilities by ambulance, aircraft or ships and have mobile hospitals which can be moved to affected locations to treat on the spot. It is nodal ministry and war related problems are solved by them. Then Ministry of Agriculture. All actions are taken for biological disasters regarding to crops, animals and fishes by this Ministry of Agriculture. It attends the biological agents regarding the agro-terrorism and sends the teams which collects the samples from site and diagnose them. So, concluding this module, we can say bioterrorism has had little success in the recent past. The pace of scientific advancement in the field of biotechnology is likely to intensify the threat of bioterrorism. The existing defense against biological weapons are inadequate. The general public is unaware about the exact nature of threat by biological weapons. So, need of the hour is to reduce vulnerability to bioterrorism by strengthening planning, detection, surveillance, laboratory analysis, emergency responses and communication systems. Thank you.